Hello and welcome to Consciousness Now TV. I'm the host and creator, Dr. Veronica Tracy-Smith. And today I wanted to share a bit more about how we become conscious and some little tricks and tools that we can use in our everyday life to become more conscious. One is, again, to focus on the present moment, not looking to the future and what happens if this happens and that happens, and not looking to the past. Bring yourself to the center in this moment. So just take a deep breath right now with me, will you? And breathing deep into your belly. That opens up the lower lobes of our lungs so we can breathe more deeply. And it also helps us become more centered. Now, one thing that I do in my daily meditation, and I want to talk about meditation for a moment, it doesn't have to be anything big or fancy, but it's about making a commitment to spending time alone in silence with yourself, and you can increase the time. You don't have to start out at a half an hour or 45 minutes or anything like that. You don't even have to get that far ever if you choose not to. Starting with 5 minutes, and know that there's going to be a part of you that wants to resist that. So what are some ways to bring yourself into this sacred space? And I say sacred because you're making it sacred. You're taking time out of your busy life to say, this is my time. And maintaining a practice that's consistent. So I would want to encourage you to first start out to make a commitment. And this commitment could be for 90 days, and I would really encourage you to give it a good 90 days to start. That you say, I'm willing to take on the challenge to show up for 90 days to sit in the same spot. It's really important for our conscious but also our unconscious mind to have the same setting to help us go deeper and deeper into relaxation first, and that can happen through deep breathing, relaxing your shoulders. If you do some type of yoga or exercise, or even walking or running in place for a few minutes, doing something to move your body, to get out the creaks and to help you settle into that space. And then I use some things. They're just touchstones. There's nothing magic about these things. Clary sage is said to help you center and get more grounded. And in my yoga class, my yoga teacher Bill says we need to ground to rise up. And that is so important for me because I tend to try to do the rising up, and grounding is harder for me. So to ground means to get centered in the spot that you're at, to imagine that the energy goes down into the earth and then up through your spine, to sit with a straight spine, but to use something like clary sage. And the quickest way to our brain is through our nose. It goes to our olfactory brain, and that helps us to get more centered and more grounded. So excuse me, using clary sage or something like that, or maybe lavender, can help you to, if you use it every day, to say, oh, I'm creating my sacred space. Having a touchstone like a rock, a crystal, this is just a little piece of a shell that I picked up on a beach somewhere, and I can hold this. If I use this every day, this can be my touchstone. I actually have beads that I use because I do something called Kriya Yoga, where I count my Kriyas, and I don't do it in my head. So to let go of the counting part in my brain, I just slip the bead over. People do that using the Om sound, or they might do it with their mantra. So you could say, well, I'm going to sit here and do my mantra. And a mantra can be anything like the word love or peace, or a word from your particular belief system, religion, or spirituality that you practice. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. If you choose a mantra, and it's a good way to go, I would encourage you to use that mantra for the 90 days. You don't want to switch around. At first, you might want to try this one or that way, and just feel what kind of resonates right in your body, and then stick with that. So that's a few of my tips for the day, and I want to encourage you to create a sacred space for yourself, just you alone. And that is a way to connect to your consciousness and to bring that consciousness into your life. Into the times that get hard, if you have conflicts coming up or stress, you can take that stress and you go, oh, let me go back to my touchstone. Let me go back to that place inside myself that is that calm, quiet place. And I promise you, you will get there. You will have resistance, and that is part of it. It's about being forgiving and bringing your mind back. And that's the next video.